have written my lyrics and I'm going to go over mine. I'll go over yours too in a different video for the class, but I wanted you to see the process and my results. Obviously, because the lyrics of all of ours will be so very different and this piece has to move forward, I'm going to go with my lyrics. But if there's something amazing that fits well with these, not just good, but actually fits, then, we can negotiate maybe putting those in as well. Um, so I want to talk to you about my process for this and how I got to here. So from the first section that I had already taken taken these half cadences here at the ends of lines 2 and 3 and used my lyrics to do the same thing. So orate a story of love, sublime over the measure line into the next phrase. So you, just like the music, can't stop because it's on a 5 chord. The lyrics have to stop, can't stop either and have to go on. And did that at the end too, where Lore is not for he who hesitates. Okay? And so in the B section here, you were going to take the word take probably and try and navigate this and write lyrics. We talked about how you might do that. It's really open-ended. And so what I'm going to do here is just tell you about my process and how I got to where I did. And hopefully your activity of writing lyrics, plus the review of your lyrics that I'll give, and you seeing what I did and maybe why I did, will help you become better at writing lyrics. In next term, we'll actually spend some time crafting lyrics about, for songs, using certain models. But if you don't have any experience writing lyrics, it's hard to write anything. So you got to dive in and just do it. Some bad lyrics have to get written, so a few good lyrics can come out of that, and so you can develop skills to write less bad lyrics the next time. All right, so this is wake up sleepy minds and go out and do a bunch of creative stuff and be energetic, sort of like maybe COVID's over or something. I don't know. And so it's very madrigal-esque. We talked about that before. And the way that I started this off was Lore is not for he who hesitates. And what I'm going to do is simultaneously have the first duet here between the sopranos and the basses use take to begin. It's almost like Tate's. They overlap nicely, and so I'm going to continue on this idea of getting out. You can imagine people are running out and smiling and being happy and helping each other and just having a great time. So I just went immediately with what came to mind, take to the street. Okay, and I knew at that point I was going to have a bunch of rhymes. Take to the street, um, people you greet, dance with your feet, even almost rhymes like kiss on the cheek, that kind of thing. And so I just wordsmithed a bunch of these things. Take to the street, smile at people you meet. The letters or the extra words in the middle just help with the metricity, so you go take, street, people, meet, right? And it made it work like that. I tried a bunch of different ones, but these are the ones that came quickly, and I'm not going to fight with that. It works. So here's where originally it was take to the street, smile at people you meet, or I was thinking, give a kiss on the cheek, but dance a jig with your feet, right? And it kind of hails back to the previous section where it said cut a rug. So dance a jig, which was actually maybe one of the original lyrics I was thinking of for cut a rug. But again, I wanted to sort of do something with the lyrics besides just make rhymes. And so it's the idea of like knock knock who's there, knock knock who's there, and you don't give them what they expect on the last time, right? That's the whole point of a knock knock joke. So I don't rhyme there, okay? So take to the street, smile at people you meet, dance a jig with your. Everybody thinks feet because it rhymes, and you do that with your feet. But friends. One of my sons, when he was in grade 1 or 2, wrote a poem. I would not like to go to the sun. No, I would not. I would not like to go to the sun. I do not want to go to the sun because it's too, and the obvious thing is hot. And he said too bright or warm, I think, which is hilarious. And so with that in mind, take to the street, smile at people you meet, dance a jig with your friends. And then I thought, let's just double down on that, right? And it was going to be, and start over again, right? But then I thought it would be even funnier, since I got the rhyme wrong, to get the metricity or the accent of the words wrong as well. So it should be, dance a jig with your feet and start over again, right? And then we have to figure out a word to get us to the next line. So instead of that, I said, dance a jig with your friends. And I put an extra syllable in there because you want to say start over. In other words, start should be beat 3 right here, and then over here, and start over again. And again should be the stress point right there. And then a couple syllables to get us into the next line. And so what I did was I put and then, because it rhymes with friends, and it gets us in the wrong syllable, right, or accent. So dance a jig with your friends, and then start over again by, right? So it's a trippy thing, right? Take to the street, smile at people you meet, dance a jig with your friends, and then start over again by, right? It's completely wrong, but it works because it's doubling down on the mess up, right? Okay, so that's how I got to that, right? And once you've done this, you kind of have to own it, meaning you got to do it again. So I knew that I was going to make something, crappy in terms of setting the lyrics up, make a mistake. So people have to go, wait, what? Right there. And so start over again by raising your voice in a jubilant noise. Close enough for voice, right? Let your spirit Now here, it should be rejoice, because we've got voice and noise, right? Just like street, meet, jig with your feet. So, it's not just to have something that doesn't rhyme here, but you have to make it seem like it's going to be that word. Jig with your, so you're thinking feet. Spirit it sounds like rejoice, right? So I just went, no, resound. Okay, now here's where, this is actually really hard to say. I'll probably mess it up here. But you want to say resound with an effortless effervescence or something like that, right? Or effervescence. Anyhow, effervescence and effortless. So now I've got the syllables really in the wrong places for these. It's doubling down on the above things. So you try and say this with me. Spirit resound with effortless effervescence, right? It's wrong, and it'll come off great at speed after we practice a bit, right? Sound with effertless effervescence, right? So again, I'm not going to try it at speed right now because I recognize that that's really hard. But effervescence, effortless effervescence, right? And so that'll be something the choir has fun with, but it's also nice to do something wrong on purpose in a way that's tricky and clever. Okay, then. Do not live lazily. That's just I thought, okay, here's where we're really going to, we've gone from, hey, try this, to finally, the logical progression is to just command the audience, right? Not just like, oh, we could do this, but don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. It's like commandments right now, right? So, do not live lazily. And now I've got to rhyme with this. Though days may hazy be. It was originally though hazy days may be, but I put it backwards. I think it's better because then we put the AZB with the lazily in the same spot, right? Reject the, and now this whole thing is going to have a little bit of this backwards syllable as well. Reject the malaise. Usually malaise or fog of, should be like the stress should be on the lays. So reject the malaise and gaze upon basking rays of glowing future days. So ma is wrong, right? Of is wrong, right? So it should be of glowing future days, right? gaze upon basking rays. So even here, I've put these in the wrong place. And, it's just finding rhymes that work topically and roll off the tongue and say what you want them to. In a way, you could just almost put any lyrics at this speed as long as it had a rhyme or something to it. People would just accept it because, but I feel like there's craft here to be gained. Now, I gotta be honest, I just wrote them. Okay. I'd like to make it sound like I did more smithing than I did, but I've written a lot of lyrics and I know what I want. And so usually I can just happen upon it. And if you want to write lyrics, and they don't have to be like mine, but yours, you learn from other people's models. You think about technical things. You copy other people, and then you just write a lot, right? You make up lots and lots of words, and you say them, and you sing them, and you smith them into music, and then you get it performed either by yourself or your friends or a choir or something, and that's how you get better at it. If you don't actually write them and put them in there, even if they're bad, right, you can't get better. And so what I'm hoping is when I see your lyrics that you will have done a good job trying to get stuff in. It doesn't even have to be complete, but maybe I can get you from where you are to finished, or maybe we can look at some things and say this was good. Why didn't we continue this more, right? There's lots and lots of techniques to writing lyrics, and if we were actually going to spend time in a more one-on-one setting, I think that would be really useful to give you principles and rules. And in next term, we will actually have a short unit where I say, this is a kind of way that they did songs like this. Now you try it. And this is another way they did lyrics like this, and you try it and stuff. And so it'll be a nice sort of end of term diversion that we do that will help you get better at this one thing that I don't know of any theory program offering because we're interested in harmony and things. Okay. One other little thing as we got out of here, I just wanted 2 lines here for the repeat of the A section so that I can go on to the next part right here, which you can see I'm starting to sketch out. So wake up, sleep, be minds. And then it occurred to me that I was going to change these sort of things a little bit so that there's musically it's not so different. So the lyrics can reward us for listening a second time. If you go and look up the singer-songwriter Alanis Morissette. She's from the 90s, I think, or early 2000s maybe. She's a good singer-songwriter, and if you listen to like the song One Hand in My Pocket or something like that, every time she comes around to another time through the sort of the verse into the hook line into the chorus, she keeps changing the lyrics, and it's delightful because, well, that's the best part of the song, right? I got one hand in my pocket and the other hand's doing something else, right? And each time it changes, it lets you know where you are in the piece. And if you look at another old song like Wasting Away in Margaritaville, it's another good one to look up. It's a classic song from, I think, the 70s. It's like the chorus is, wasting away again in Margaritaville, looking for my long-lost shaker of salt. Some people say that it's a woman to blame. And then he has a progressive line there where he goes from like, I don't know what's going on to maybe it's nobody's fault to no, it's my fault. And so the song gets a progression, just not, through the growth of the lyrics, let alone the music that happens too. So here, wake up, sleepy minds, okay, kept that the same. But instead of shake off the da da da, it's like I changed it to blind here, right? The original one was wake up, sleepy minds, shake off the dust from your daily grinds, right? Now it's wake up, sleepy minds, abandon the things that would make you blind. So I knew that I was going to change it to blind, and then I knew that I could change this backwards, and the rhythm's a little different there. And then this is the end of the song. Make haste, for wonder awaits, right? So I put in a 4 in there because it was just wonder awaits. And then instead of lore lies in store for he who, lore who doesn't hesitate, right? I put rewards lie in store, right? Or lore is not for he who hesitates. Now it's rewards lie in store, so don't hesitate. So again, little tiny changes I think are wonderful from performance and from a growth point of view. Every time you add quality to your song in different ways, harmonically, artistically, in terms of playing, the colors used, the orchestration, the expertise of the musicians, all these kind of things, your mix, right, and the lyrics, and the other things under the hood like chords and things, I think gives extra strength and um, artisanship to the song. So this will be fun to finish up, and we're definitely singing in choir. So hopefully you'll see it there. I'm going to play from the beginning, and then I'll let you go. You can follow along and kind of think about the lyrics. Sleeping minds, shake off the dust from your daily grinds. Cut a rug, turn a rhyme, read a story of love sublime. Then with cunning and guile, hoodwink your friends with an impish smile. Make haste, wonder awaits. Lore is not for he who hesitates. Take to the street. Right? Dig with your friends and then start over again by a jubilant noise. Let your spirit resound with effortless effervescence. Smooth mind, hazy be reject the malaise and gaze upon basking rays of glowing future days. Wake up, sleepy, in the things that would make you blind. For wonder awaits, rewards lie in store for who hesitate. All right, and then we're into a minor key for a bridge-like section, and it's going to be imitative and stuff. So, all right, that will be fun. Talk to you later.